Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good afternoon. We're here with some breaking news. Breaking news, guys. We got a lot to talk about and a very little bit of time to do it. So I'm going to get straight into this very, very shortly. But hopefully you guys are all doing well. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning to every single last one of y'all watching from all over the globe, because we international up in this biz-IE. And for some wild reason, a lot of y'all across the pond really care about what's going on out here in these streets. And I appreciate you caring about what's going on here in America. So shout out to all y'all too. And all you guys, all you Americans out here that are just going, like, we going through it. We going through Europe, Africa, Australia, Russia, China, all y'all. Okay. I know I didn't mention all. Okay. But, even Canada, the loft, over a really good party. All y'all, America's going through it. We going through it right now. So we could use your prayers. All right. If you don't mind tithing, hold on, I got my tithing hat. If you don't mind tithing into the we are going through some things. Holy cow. And I got questions for you guys, okay? Something just happened, so we got to get straight into that first, because that is a very, very big deal. But first, we're going to have to get into a little bit of a breakdown of everything first before we get into that, okay? So do me a favor, for those of y'all who are a little late to the party, kind of like me, because I just found out about this. Like, literally, I'm out there doing my thing, and then all of a sudden, I see there's a new update, and I'm like, dang, I got to get in here and give that to you guys. And I'm like, we're going to do it live. We're going to do it live. So that's what we're doing. We're doing it live. So do me a favor, hit that like button down below. Crush it, do what to do. Hit that reaction button, please, and thank you. If you are watching on these other platforms, like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, Twitch, Kick, please make sure you hit that follow button, because I'm on all of them, man. I'm on all of them, man. Okay? Also, please don't forget, hit that subscribe button here on my main channel, the YouTube channel. Please and thank you. Go to my second and third channel, the Pascal Show Clips and Pascal Raw. Make sure you subscribe to those channels as well. Hit that notification bell on all channels. Hit it all so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because right now it's random. I'm sorry, it just is. Everything's breaking so damn much, okay? There's always breaking news every 5 seconds. Dag nabbit. All right? So make sure you have that notification bell set to all, okay? And I'm putting out a lot of shorts, because a lot of times we don't have a lot of time to do all the extra stuff and editing and all that crap, okay? So make sure you have that notification bell set to all. Hit that join button down below, become a member, check out my Patreon, and of course, check out PascalMerch.com. PascalMerch.com, we got some really great stuff over there, PascalMerch.com. Also, check out that the GoFundMe that's pinned at the top of the chat. We are just hundreds of dollars away, literally, mere hundreds of dollars away from making our goal, from meeting the goal for this remote live rig where I could go use it. It's all in the backpack, and I can do all live stuff on the street, which I'm really excited about. So please, if you can contribute, I understand we're all going through some tough times right now, but if you can, that'd be greatly appreciated. The link for the rig, for the GoFundMe for the rig, is pinned at the top of the chat. It's also in the description box down below. Okay, all righty then. All right. We have got to get into this conversation, okay? Star Fury just said, I thought this Epstein stuff was over. What? No, it ain't over until the what's the PC word phrase for it now? The heavy set woman sings. Okay? It ain't over for a minute. We got at least another month, because we got some updates here. I'm going to explain it to you guys in just a little bit. I will. Okay? Now, there's been a lot of stuff that's been going on. Let me just tell you real quick. First and foremost, if you're not watching My mother loving shorts. I don't know what to tell y'all because especially with everything, sometimes the news is happening so quickly and there's a new update every 5 seconds, it seems like, that I can't really give you guys a longer formatted video, like I call them pop-up videos, the longer formatted videos that are like 15 to 20 minutes long. Sometimes there ain't no time. Okay. Sometimes there is no time. So I just got to pull up the phone and then just upload, right? And keep it moving because there's so much going on. Yeah, apparently you can't, it's not PC to say fat anymore. You know what I mean? I know you said fat like PHAT, pretty hot and tempting. Okay. But no, you can't say the fat lady sings anymore. So it's like, what do you say? The heavy set woman? I don't know what the right word is, with all due respect, not trying to be mean. I'm just saying I just don't know what the right word is. But let me just continue here. There's been a lot of stuff that's been going on. One breaking news piece of information after the next, and it's been absolutely crazy, especially with this whole thing since this morning. Okay, it's been nuts. Epstein dropped some bombshell emails or emails that he wrote years ago because he gone. Okay, him dead. Okay, just so you know, him did. And there's going to be some conversations about that too, about things circling how he perished. We're going to be talking about that here too. Okay. But here's the thing. Bombshells dropped. Everything's going crazy. We're all going crazy. Everyone's minds are spinning like tops. Okay. Everyone's in a tizzy. Even Trump himself. He is freaking the out. He is absolutely losing his doggone mind right now. He is tripping balls. Okay. And honestly, rightfully so. Let me just say this first, though. And I feel like I said it in one of the shorts. I don't know if I did, but I'm going to say it anyway, just to remind y'all real quick as you guys start to file in. Okay. This does not show any proof of him doing any wrongdoing. I just want to make that abundantly clear. They're in the emails so far. We have not heard anything of him committing any type of crimes. Now, they say that he's in these rooms with a woman, with a victim for hours, but that still does not prove, confirm, or deny any wrongdoing from Trump. Yes, our minds go there. Okay, our minds go there, but they're not said in the emails. I want to make that abundantly clear. It's not in the emails basically saying like he went and he did this and so on and so forth, right? So let's just be real. We don't fully know that information. But when you hear it in an email from a monster and he's spending time with the likes of Virginia Giuffre, it's safe to say like, yo, what's that all about? What's actually going on here? It's safe to I can see why everyone will jump to conclusions, right? They'll throw out their little jump to conclusions, Matt, and they'll jump to conclusions, right? A little Office Space joke for you guys. But moving on. One thing's for sure, though. Trump ain't moving around here acting like he innocent. He most definitely not walking around here in these streets acting like he innocent. Let me explain. The Trump administration now just had, or maybe they're still in the middle of an emergency powwow, an emergency meeting with the likes of Pam Bondi, Todd Blanche, Kash Patel, and also Lauren Boebert, Representative Lauren Boebert. Why would he be holding a meeting with the likes of Lauren Boebert? Well, I'll explain. She is one of the few. There hasn't been a whole lot of representatives, like Republican representatives, on the side of unearth the files, release the files now. Let's bring justice for these women and all of these victims, so on and so forth. As far as the people on the red, not a whole lot of red jerseys are running up and saying, yeah, expose that. Drain the swamp, Trump. You said you're going to do it, so do it, right? No, that hasn't been a lot, okay? There's one male representative, if I'm correct, and Marjorie Taylor Greene, Nancy Mace, and Lauren Boebert. So 4, if I'm correct, 4 of them that are stepping forward and being like, F that, F this noise. drain the swamp, right? You said you're going to do it, so do it, right? That's all within MAGA land, by the way. All within MAGA land. But here's the thing. Marjorie Taylor Greene done straight up spun off this planet. And you could even hear she been spun off this planet, but now she's spinning in an orbit that is on the side of like, what is MAGA doing, right? She was on the dark side, I guess some people would think, right? And now she's on the good side of the force for a second. She's gone rogue, long story short, okay? And she's sitting here going like, MAGA should not be standing for this kind of stuff. If you're not willing to expose it, then obviously something's up. Nancy Mace is the same way. Lauren Boebert is the same way. Okay. And the male representative. Now, I don't remember his name with all due respect. I'm not trying to be rude. Okay. But here's what's interesting about this. He's not even trying to reach out to Marjorie Taylor Greene because she's a lost cause in his mind. He's already saying like, I don't know what she's on. She's just lost her mind. That kind of thing, right? He's trying to reach out to Nancy Mace, but they're playing phone tag right now. They keep missing each other's phone calls. Oh, gosh, he's calling me. Oh, I'm so busy. Ignore. Yeah. We're going to ignore that. That kind of thing, right? He's been trying to get a hold of her. He's not calling anybody else except for Lauren Boebert. But Lauren Boebert is willing to get into a room and have a combo. Have a powwow, which is interesting. I'm just letting you know that's something interesting. It shows like, it's like, how like you break up with your boyfriend, your girlfriend, right? Your lover. And then suddenly it's like, hey, can we just at least like, can we just meet up and talk? Let me take you out to your favorite joint. You know what I mean? Let's go grab a, let's just discuss some things over some salted meats, some dead carcasses. Can we just get together and just, drink some wine? Okay. Some fermented grapes and some salted dead animals. Can we do that real quick? You don't mind? For a fact, 9 times out of 10, the person who's willing to have that conversation with you is still keeping that open, that option open of like, do I want to be with him or not? They're willing to do it. They're willing to at least hear your plea. If they're willing to say yes to a meeting or a dinner. Am I wrong? Am I right? So now when I hear something like, oh, she's willing to have this conversation, she could easily be persuaded, finessed, bribed, threatened, God knows what. I'll make you vice president in 2028. I promise you that'll happen. Or something of that sort, right? You want to be senator? I will give you that seat, right? Anything's possible. For a fact, if she's sitting there going, sure. You know what I mean? There's at least room for there's a possibility. I mean, she is totally fine with giving angry handy J's in the middle of a Broadway show. So who's to say that she's not willing to get jerked around in a meeting with the president of the United States? Something to think about. By the way, that did happen. She did give somebody a handy J during a Broadway musical. I think it was like Beetlejuice the musical or something. Real talk. I think it was Beetlejuice the musical. Like really. And listen. I'm not slut shaming. I'm not. I'm just saying it's a joke, but I'm just being real. She was in that musical, boobies out and everything. And she said, I feel like playing with his weed whacker right now. There's kids in the area. There's kids in the theater. There's kids up in the balcony looking down, and she's just doing this. It's totally normal while they're saying Beetlejuice. You know what I mean? Nobody. It was Beetlejuice. Yeah. Beetlejuice the musical. 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch. Daylight. She was busy churning butter. And okay. So in other words, if she's willing to do that, and she got kicked out because they got caught, by the way, this wasn't a situation where she just, went to completion. Okay. They got caught and they got kicked out. House Representative Lauren Boebert telling everybody it was just a little flick of the wrist. And no, she wasn't cooking crack. So anyway, she's having this meeting with Trump, Pam Bondi, Todd Blanche, and Kash Patel. I want to remind you, these are still the same. These are like the not even the full four horsemen, because I'm wondering where Dan Bongino is, but the three horsemen that have been leading this whole BS train in the first place. Think about this. Ghislaine. First off, they said there's nothing to see here. Pam Bondi was first to say it's all BS. There is no list. The list does not exist, right? So then Ghislaine goes, oh, I know she's not French, but she doesn't have a French accent, but she's like, au contraire. I know everything, right? So then Todd Blanche flies down. Okay. It says, what do you know? And they're like, we're going to record everything. You say, and we'll let you get a really nice place. You say he's a gentleman. He hasn't done anything, right? Okay. I'm going to press record now and we're going to start. Okay. Okay. Boop. So tell us, did Trump have any connection with anybody at all? No. He was perfect. Complete gentleman, right? It's complete trash and a complete lie. She gets moved, right? These are all the people that are involved in this, all of them. So those same people that are trying to cover everything up, including Mike freaking Johnson, because he's trying to cover things up too, baby. They have a meeting with Lauren Boebert to try to stop things from being exposed. Well, things are about to change here in the very near future, and it looks like within probably by right around Christmas time, Trump may have a very, very, very blue Christmas. He might have a very bad Christmas for various reasons, which we are going to get into in just a minute. But one thing is for sure, you see the title here, and I don't know why this ad is covering this up, but I want you guys to see this. I know how dirty Donald Trump is. Right here. Let me this is the email itself. Let's get straight to the meat and potatoes. Take a look at this. This is an email that Jeffrey Epstein, Mr. EpiPen, sent to Kathy Rumeyer or Rumiel. I don't know. But anyway, he says, and I quote, you see, I know how dirty Donald is. My guess is that non-lawyers, New York biz people have no idea what it means to have your fixer flip. And from my understanding, he is referring to, as far as his fixer, let's talk about Michael Cohen. Remember what happened with Michael Cohen? Now he's on podcasts and stuff. He has like his own podcast and everything. He is totally anti-Trump now. Totally against Trump now. All right? But right there, I know how dirty Donald is. This is coming straight from the dead horse's mouth. Jeffrey Epstein. It makes no difference whether it was his money. Issue is failure to disclose. Plus, fact he has fact that he has lied his ass off about what about it makes clear that he knew it was illegal. Moving on from Epstein. So that was Kathy saying that. Okay. Epstein responds. Or no, he actually said something to her first. My bad. Okay. So he says, I think it makes the argument that it was his, Trump's money, making it not illegal. Though he also said he only found out afterwards, and the fact, according to the indictment, was billed as services rendered and grossed up. I'm sure his account has flipped anyway. So I did talk in detail to Star yesterday. Re-indictments, how Trump can make a deal. Special counsel, Clinton's trash can, Clinton's trash can. Yes, Star gave me more. Yeah. So, emails that were being sent. The principal case for impeachment is clear. What's missing is the courage. So, this is all coming from between Jeffrey Epstein and Kathy Rumier. Okay? Or not Rumier. Rumler. Sorry, that's an L. I thought it was an I. Okay? Now, again, let me just say this. All right? And again, if anyone's sitting there going like, oh, you know, he better like sue somebody for defamation, who he going to sue? The man be gone, the man be dead, him dead. Who is he going to sue? If he was to sit there and say this is defamation, who he going to actually sue? Real talk, who? Who, baby? Who? No one. I'll tell you what, no one. Now, there is another email that I saw, but I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know if it's I feel like it could be fabricated. I honestly think that this is a fake email. There's another one about him like running into a door because he was too busy looking at these girls. I'm talking about girls, not women, but apparently looking at girls in a pool. Trump. I don't know if this is absolutely 110%. That's my only issue, is that some of these, like there's another email that came out and I don't think it's real. Okay? At least I don't see that. Yeah, I just don't see it. Yeah, I don't know if this is actually true, but this was being shared out here, which I'm going to look at here. This is from Home of the Brave. And like I said, I don't know how legitimate this Twitter account is, or X account is. But I'll share it with you guys briefly, but I just don't think it's real. Okay. I just don't know. Now they say, okay, now, first off, I want to say this. I want to make this abundantly clear, because somebody said, Chunky Monster just said, have the emails been fact checked? Well, here's the thing. As far as authenticity, they are real. Those emails are real. Let me just say this too. You got the likes of Caroline Levitt. She's not going out of her way to say that these are all fake. She has not denied the authenticity of these emails. In fact, the House of Democrats, okay, the Oversight Committee Democrats did release these files. Why would they put out files that were fake if Trump was easily able to say that these were fake? You see what I'm saying? So here's the thing. They have confirmed that these are real, these emails. All right. Now, Medusa, I don't know what you're confused about, but ask the question and hopefully I can not make you confused. Okay. So just so you know, they have not, listen, one thing is for sure. Caroline, she is a liar like a mug. Okay. But that's what she gets paid to do. But she has not lied about the authenticity of these emails. She has just said these have been handpicked. These have been cherry picked to expose or to make Trump look like a butthole. That's basically what she is saying. She did not say these are all fake. These aren't real. You guys need to stop looking at these. This is all fugazi. No, she has not denied the authenticity of these emails, which is massive. Also, I believe that if these emails were not real and it was all a fugazi, media would be fast, very quick to go back online and say all of this is fake. Sorry, guys. We apologize. We believe that these emails were real, but that's not the case. These emails are freaking real. That's it. But here's the thing. Somebody said this, and I can't remember who said it right now, but they said it was brilliant. These emails, some of these emails are as old, like are from 2011, right? If you do the math, these emails are so old, they're old enough to be victims. Think about that. Why were they sitting on these doggone emails for this freaking long? 2011, as old as 2011, which would be 14 years old, okay? 14 years ago, which is basically the age of some of these victims. Real talk. And still nothing had happened. They just had this sitting down, chilling in the cut, chilling in the corner and did nothing with it. Why? Why didn't they do something about this a long time ago? It's ridiculous. Okay? Now, I got to check something here. Now, I'm just going to share it with you guys, but I do not know if this is authentic or not. This one, I feel like, because again, there are going to be people out here making all kinds of fake stuff for the sake of fake stuff. But I'm going to share it with you anyway. But I don't think it's real. I just don't know if it's real. But here's something that I think is very interesting. Okay, so apparently he was having this email with Landon Thomas, and it says importance high, and it says read UzFeed. I think it's BuzzFeed. Okay. Read my airplane logs and Hawaiian Tropic contest. Have them ask my houseman about Donald almost walking through the door, leaving his nose print on the glass as young women were swimming in the pool. And he was so focused, he walked straight into the door. If this is real, that's not good. So he was ogling or oogling. What is it? Ogling? Is it ogling or oogling? Anyway, he was gawking at young women in a pool, swimming, as he was so focused that he ran into a door. If this is true, this is absolutely insane. Moving on. Now, everyone coming to me thinking I have juicy info on you and Trump. This is what Landon Thomas said. Because of this, I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy. You know, we've heard this phrase a million times before. Okay? Is it oogling? Yeah. You're busy oogling. He was busy oogling at these young women as he's running into a door because he was just too busy staring over there. Girls in their bathing suits and stuff, right? But again, this person says, now everyone's coming to me thinking I have juicy info on you and Trump because of this. I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy. Trump booms from a speakerphone. I have he's a lot of fun to be with. It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do. How we've heard this phrase before. We've heard this sentence before. And many of them are on the younger side. No doubt about it. Jeffrey enjoys his social life. And they say that story will never die. Now, here's the thing. If any of this stuff here is true, this is bad. This is a bad look. Okay? Remember the time when he was sitting there going to grab him by the you-know-whats and all that? Like, listen, you mean to tell me it's ogling? Okay. I don't know how to say it. It's oogling, ogling, potato. But here it is. What's crazy about this, all right, is that if that email is true, this one, because I found it at random, if that one is anyway remotely true, then Trump is in some serious trouble. He's already in some serious trouble already. I want to be real. He's already in some serious trouble to begin with because of what the emails that we've read and seen before, okay? He's in some serious trouble because of this stuff, all right? But again, when you hear the countless stories of him having him leave, like kicking Epstein out, was it because he was being a creepazoid? Was it truly because he was being a creepazoid? Or was it because he was getting jealous that all of his girls were being taken away? He recruited those girls himself. I'm sure they were handpicked to be the face of Mar-a-Lago, right? The reason why the guys would go back to that spa, because these beautiful women, not only is it relaxing and all that, but you're around beautiful women all day long, right? But then you got Epstein going, well, I got this island and I could fly you out, private jet. I got a private jet. Let's fly out there. Let's have some fun. Let's do our thing. And you'll get paid. Pretty insane stuff, guys. But he said, I know that he is a dirty man. I know how dirty Donald Trump really is. Let's take a look at this. Republicans on the House Oversight Committee released a trove of emails, which we already know about. All right. These emails released by the Democrats show Epstein calling Trump the quote unquote dog that hasn't barked and discussing how an alleged victim spent hours at my house with him. Again, just because that victim was in that same house with him for hours does not mean Trump did anything. Trump could have done nothing at all. But at the end of the day, Trump has been trying to hide as much information as he can, and that is not good. Let me just say that, all right? It's a bad look at the end of the day, but here it is, all right? Spending hours with Virginia Giuffre, a victim, one of the main faces of this movement, trying to take Epstein down. This is not a great look that he would be here at that house with her for several hours. They could have just sat there watching TV and talking about life. That could have been possible too. But at the same time, respectfully, optically speaking, it's a bad look. Now everybody wants to know. Again, if he's innocent, why go out of your way to try everything you can to block this information? He's doing it himself, and he also has his henchmen all around him within the administration trying their best to block this situation. Okay? So, moving on. The emails released by the Republicans, are also not flattering for Trump, with an exchange including Epstein writing, "You see, I know how dirty Donald is." The email dated August 23rd, 2018 appears to show Epstein and former Obama White House counsel Kathy Rumler discussing Trump's former fixer, Michael Cohen, flipping on him. The subject line on the email reads, New York Times, Donald Trump's high crimes and misdemeanors, and begins with Rumler sharing an article with Epstein. Here's a story from the New York Times that I thought you would find interesting. The principled case for impeachment is clear. What's missing is the courage, reads Rumler. Then, of course, Donald Trump's high crimes and misdemeanors is the title of August 22nd, 2018's op-ed in the Times by Brett Stevens. Excuse me. That included the subhead, the principled case for impeachment is clear. What's missing is the courage. So, of course, we already read all this in the email, okay, and how they responded. But the two appeared to be discussing the case surrounding Cohen's hush money payments ahead of the 2016 election to, the spicy adult film star, all right, Stormy Daniels and others, okay, made on Trump's behalf. Trump was later found guilty in May of 2024 and on 34 counts of falsifying business documents related to the case, which we all already know as well, right? So here's the thing, though. When we hear about this information about Trump being dirty, are we really that surprised? At the end of the day, are we really that surprised? I'll tell you. No, we shouldn't be surprised. I think he does play dirty. Shoot, I have read, well, not read, but I listened to like an audiobook of his back in the day, way before he became president, and he played dirty. He's dirty. That's it. We all know that. We all know that part. Does that mean he's a criminal in as far as STing women and doing terrible things with littles? Still no proof of that. But at the same time, how they've been maneuvering out here in these streets and how Trump has been, with trying to dodge everything he can, it looks suspect as hell. Let's not forget this too. As soon as this thing happened, emails came out. He had that emergency meeting with Lauren Boebert, trying to see if he could sway her to sign, right, against releasing the files. Why would you do that if you're 110% innocent? And here's the other thing. If you are innocent, then who are you trying to protect? And if that's the case, you are trying to protect somebody and you are truly innocent, like you just sat there with Virginia Giuffre and you were just reading excerpts from the Bible, that's something else. But if you're trying to protect somebody else, would anyone want a leader like that? Trying to cover up and hide and protect other people rather than exposing and draining the swamp, as he said before? I'm just saying that's a big problem. And it's like this. If it's everybody, like I said, this is a bipartisan situation. This has nothing to do with whether he's MAGA or whether he is not MAGA. This is a situation that there are people of all kinds that did very, very bad things, and they should be held accountable. So why hold protection for those that should be seeing justice? And let these women, these victims, actually see justice served before they leave this planet. God rest her soul, Virginia Giuffre. Think about that. If he's innocent and he did nothing wrong, why he maneuvering like this, y'all? That makes no sense. That makes no earthly sense. Now people are out here wondering if he had something to do with the demise of Jeffrey Epstein, baby. Because now they're like, oh, he plays dirty. He's that dirty. Think about it, y'all. Now people are asking that question. Like I said, if you are doing nothing wrong and did nothing wrong, then why are you maneuvering in this kind of fashion? So let's continue on, guys, because, we got some updates here, and I want you guys to see something, because something big just happened. Okay, something big just happened before we went live. And I'm telling you right now, first off, Pam Bondi needs to be held accountable. Kash Patel needs to be held accountable. Todd Blanche needs to be held accountable. In fact, I totally forgot. Hold on. One last thing before we go into this main thing. I think I can find it. Let me see. Okay. Here's the thing. We got more. We got to talk about this part too. Ghislaine Maxwell, she's been talking over the past couple days, because today is what? The 12th. She has been talking over the past couple days about how she living is great. How she living is just dope, right? Yeah, Deborah, it's funny. Haven't heard anything from Dan Bongino in a minute. Now, have we? We haven't heard a damn thing from that mother lover. Where's he at? What happened to him? But we haven't heard anything from him at all either. Something to think about. But moving on, okay? Here's something I want you guys to see too. This is very interesting, and this has to do with Ghislaine, okay? Jizzy, all right? So, Ghislaine Maxwell is after a Trump commutation. Yeah. Ain't that something? Why is she after a commutation? She should be happy where she's at. She should be happy with the upgrade, baby. She should be totally happy with the ultimate upgrade. But now she's seeking commutation. Okay? So the convicted accomplice of disgraced financier and monster, we already know who he is, okay, is reportedly seeking a commutation for her 20-year prison sentence from DJT. Why? Democratic members of the House Judiciary Committee said Monday that the panel received new information about, new information from a purported whistleblower who revealed that the former socialite is working on a commutation application, the strongest indicator yet that Maxwell might seek Trump's legal intervention. According to the same whistleblower, Maxwell has also received preferential treatment at this Texas minimum security prison camp that she has been moved from, this Florida federal prison, in August after she was questioned by the DOJ. Todd Blanche. By the way, Todd Blanche is also Trump's lawyer, just so you know. Okay? So it's not like he's going in there without bias. He's clearly going in there with some sort of bias. So again, here it is. I'm struggling to keep it all together as it is big, and there are so many attachments, Maxwell wrote in an email to her attorney, okay? And his name, that attorney's name is Leaf, okay? Which was reviewed by NBC News. The subject line of the email reads, commutation application. According to the whistleblower, whose identity the committee has not yet revealed, Maxwell has received what was described as concierge-style treatment at the minimum security prison camp that she was transferred to, including customized meals, permission to go to the exercise area after hours, and time to play with a puppy that has been trained to be an inmate to become, or by an inmate to become, a service dog, among other things. Miss me with this nonsense. You mean to tell me that there wasn't some sort of deal? You mean to tell me she was in this maximum security prison living in hell, eating ramen noodles and molded bread, and then she says, oh, he is a great man. He is amazing. Right? I know it's not. Whatever. Okay? He's an absolute treasure. He's an absolute gentleman. And then she gets moved to this place out in Texas where they're literally letting her mess around with dogs, learn how to play pickleball, and go work out and get her swole on at any wee hour of the day. Customized meals, y'all. Customized meals. She's being treated like royalty inside. Come on now. There's no connection. No connection whatsoever. And we all just sit here and ignore that? Well, maybe it's over, she was doing very well in the other prison. No, she was not. She was supposed to be locked up. period. Maximum federal prison. Put her in there. Throw away the key. She's a monster. She was an accomplice, and she also was a part of all this crazy stuff. And yet she's still out there, able to utilize her leverage on Trump. Why would this ever happen? She used that leverage on Trump. He is either a culprit, and he is guilty of the fact, or he is protecting those that are guilty. That is it. This is not crazy talk. This is facts. Why would she go from maximum security prison, probably roaches in her gruel that she's eating every single day, wearing gray prison jumpsuits, then suddenly move to a place where she's getting to roll around in grassy knolls with puppies and do sun salutations any day of the way, any time and any day of the week. That doesn't make sense, and that does not make sense to me, guys. The whistleblower also claimed that a top official at the prison camp complained he was sick of having to be Maxwell's bitch. Why would somebody complain about that when they shouldn't be somebody's B? I'm sorry, I'm going to have to use the B word for a second here, okay, guys? So just, fair warning, earmuffs for the kids. But why would somebody go, I am so sick and tired of being treated like somebody's bitch? Top official at a prison camp, sitting there saying out loud, I'm tired of being her bitch. Why would that happen? And now she's looking to, oh, Trumpy, oh, Donald. Yes, I'm applying for some commutation. But she is being treated like royalty in this space. And she's getting a whole lot of freedoms that she should not be getting at all. Whole lot of freedoms that she should not be getting at all, and she's getting it. Yeah, she's running things behind bars. And these are people that should be telling her, like, ma'am, you can't eat that. Prisoner 1257712, what do you have in your possession? You're not allowed to have that, ma'am. Prisoner 1257125, you better come right back. I don't remember the prison number, but you know what I'm saying. You better hand that over. That's contraband. Prison number 1237455. You know what I mean? No, you can't hang out with Fido today. You're not allowed. Red Rover will not come over. And yet you got prison officials, higher ups, saying, I'm tired of being her bitch. That is absolutely insane. And it's real. And you mean to tell me there isn't a cover-up going on? Okay. Okay. Like I said, everybody that's out here trying to move the goalpost, trying to make it seem like Trump is doing this good thing and he's all good and blah, blah, blah. And he's making America great again and all that crap. I don't think he really is right now. His lies are starting to catch up to him and starting to bite him right in the ass. That's at least what I'm seeing with my own two eyes. It just doesn't make sense. He is the Swamp Thing. He really is. He's coming out of the thing like, you know what I mean? He is Swamp Thing now. He is the swamp. Okay? He is the king, the you know what I mean? He is the founder of said swamp. This is not good. It's not good, guys. It's not good. So here's the thing. This is what makes it even worse, okay? So you have Representative-elect Adelita Grijalva, okay, who was supposed to be sworn into her seat 7 whole weeks ago. We need to talk about this. And I need to give you guys a little bit of backstory before we get into this, all right? Now, somebody said Trump is playing 8D chess. What 8D chess is he playing? Because 8D chess would see the future then. And the future is basically saying he about to get locked up. If he keeps playing it like this, he's going to get either impeached or he could be seeing himself getting locked up. Seriously, this is not good. And if he doesn't get in front of this and do something to prove his innocence, this is bad. But everything timeline-wise, everything optically that we have seen so far is making him look even more guilty. Rather than him standing forward and from the beginning, basically saying, yes, my name is mentioned in these things, but I'm telling you guys right now, I have nothing to do with that. Release release the hounds. Release the Kraken. Release it all, right? And just be done with it. Just be done with it. But he doesn't do that. He has been doing everything. He's been bobbing and weaving. Okay? He's been Heisman Trophy type stuff. Okay? Doing everything he can to not get out and get exposed or get himself in trouble. Rather than him just getting in front of it and just saying, yeah, my name is in here, but I'm innocent. I'd rather that type of transparency than him trying to throw up walls every single time someone walks down a specific angle and trying to block this information. This is not good. And eventually, right now, we're seeing the castle starting to crumble. But here's the thing. There is still a possibility of him coming out of this unscathed. I know that sounds wild to a lot of y'all, but there's still a possibility that he could walk out of this whole thing unscathed. But you know what's going to happen? The court of public opinion is going to be side-eyeing the hell out of him from this point on. I'm telling you right now, you think a lot of these people are rocking with him right now? Yeah, you still got your diehards. You do. He still has a good portion of diehards, for sure. There's still a lot of other people that are waking the F up. And no, I'm not saying getting woke. I'm just saying they're waking the F up and realizing that he's lying, that he's not telling the truth. And that is a huge problem, y'all. That is a huge problem. So much that this person, Mike Johnson, his other little Keebler elf minion, went out of his way to avoid swearing in this woman right here, this representative right here, this Democrat representative. He tried as best as he could to hold that out for 7 whole weeks, way before we even had this lockdown or this shutdown, I'm sorry. Way before this lockdown or, shutdown. He was trying everything he can to stop her from being sworn in because he knew as soon as she got sworn in, she would be the final signature to approve the release of these Epstein files. Well, something happened today, guys. Something happened. She got sworn in today, guys. Finally. But first, let's take a look at this, okay? Let's take a look at this quick little interview here.
I'm here with Congresswoman-elect Adelita Grijalva. Congresswoman, what does it mean to finally take the oath of office today?
It's been 50 days of waiting, and it means that Southern Arizona will finally have a voice in Congress and be able to provide basic constituent services that everyone in my district deserves.
You have waited the longest of any special elected member of Congress in recent memory to take the oath of office. There's been reports that it was because Speaker Johnson was concerned you'll sign on to this discharge petition to release the Epstein files. Do you plan to sign on to that petition? And furthermore, do you believe the delay was because of those plans?
Yes, I would.
What? Of course, I paused it too late, but you already know. Okay.
Will be signing on to the discharge petition and be the 218th signer. And I also believe that there is a connection there with my delay.
Do you believe that the Speaker's delay has set a precedent here that Democrats could follow if they retake a majority? I mean, you had to wait 50 days. What's stopping Democrats from making that same decision?
No one should ever be put in this position, regardless of party. If your community elected you to a position, you deserve to be sworn in, regardless of whether you agree with the political ideology of the Speaker of the House. No one person should ever be able to silence 813,000 people again.
And now let me tell you this. First off, hard facts. Hard facts. Here's the other thing, too. Isn't this illegal? Isn't this illegal? Isn't what Mike Johnson, what he did with holding her for 50 days? Isn't that mother-loving illegal, though? Yeah, I think that's illegal. I think that's illegal. That's illegal. So is she going to take him to court for that? Because he was breaking all kinds of laws to avoid swearing her in. Why is that? How is this person, how is Mike Johnson even allowed to have his position for doing what he did here? It's illegal. And then the entire time outside of that, he's like, well, it's the damn Demis. It's the Democrats' fault. It's all the Democrats. Blame the Demis. It's them damn Demis. What? What are you talking about? When you're doing like slimy stuff like this? In which it's illegal? Okay, let's continue.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you will meet Speaker Johnson for the first time face-to-face this afternoon when he swears you in. Will you have a message for him?
I hope you do.
I'm going to remember that I bring with me the voices of Southern Arizona, and I will be professional and as respectful as I can. I think that it's important for him to hear from me directly that I am incredibly disappointed and frustrated and angry that it took so long to get here, and that nobody else should be in this position again.
You spent much of the last 50 days in Southern Arizona. I presume you spoke with constituents. What was their reaction to the fact that you weren't able to actually conduct any business here for the people, introduce bills, participate in committees?
Well, throughout Southern Arizona and actually across the nation, people have been chanting "swear her in" anytime I'm around, and I think that the frustration, you could sense it, because what they want is they want to be able to have a fully endorsed person that's able to conduct their job. Southern Arizona did their part 50 days ago, and it has taken this long to get to this point, and I'm just very happy that finally I'll be able to serve Southern Arizona in the way they elected me to do.
Your father, Chairman Grijalva, left quite a legacy. He was chairman of the Natural Resources Committee. He chaired the Congressional Progressive Caucus. Do you plan to follow in his footsteps? Will you join the Congressional Progressive Caucus?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think, my father and I have the same values. How we approach situations are going to be a little different because Congress now is very different than it was when my dad got here 22 years ago.
What issues do you plan to take under your wing as you take the oath of office, participate in committee hearings, and actually start to serve as a legislator here on Capitol Hill?
Public education, environmental justice for all, the Green New Deal, affordability for working people and fighting for our democracy. Right now, this nation doesn't look like the country that we grew up in. And I want to make sure that for generations to come, including my 3 children, that they have the opportunity to reach their American dream.
Well, I mean, like I said, I'm happy that she is finally, getting sworn in, and that's exactly what we are about to watch, because it's about damn time. So we're going to take a look at her actually getting sworn in, and the things that she had to say, I think, were powerful. And let's take a look.
Grijalva has concentrated her career on issues associated and advocating for students and supporting families. As she follows her late father's footsteps, and boy, those are some footsteps, especially with those bolo ties. Wow. I have no doubt she will bring to the halls of Congress the same energy that has defined her years of public service. As Dean of the Arizona Congressional Delegation, I wish to congratulate Congressman Grijalva and welcome her to the United States House of Representatives. I now yield to my friend from Arizona, Mr. Stanton.
Mr. Speaker, thank you, and thank you to Congressman Gosar, the new Dean of Arizona's State Delegation. It has been a minute since we've all been together on the House floor. Looking for cobwebs around here. As Dean, Congressman Gosar replaces the late Congressman Raul Grijalva, one of the most impactful leaders in Arizona history. And now, with great pride, I rise today to do something we have waited 50 long days to do, exactly 49 days too long, and that is to introduce our colleague from Arizona, Congresswoman Adelita Grijalva. Since September 23rd, the people of Arizona have been waiting for this day, and the excuses for the delay have changed seemingly daily. First, they said they need an election certificate, though one isn't required. Then they wanted to make sure there was enough pomp and circumstance. Then we were informed about a non-existent Pelosi precedent. At one point, the speaker went on television and said, quote, "Bless her heart, she is representative-elect, she doesn't know how it works around here." Bless his heart, because here's how it should work. Let's call it the Adelita Grijalva precedent. When the American people vote, this chamber respects their will and seats them immediately. Politics should never come into play. Mr. Speaker, Congresswoman Grijalva is a native Tucsonan, the granddaughter of a bracero who came here from Mexico, the youngest woman ever elected to the Tucson Unified School Board, serving 20 years, then a Pima County supervisor fighting for working families, affordable housing, early child education. She brings that same fight to Congress. The people of Arizona's 7th District placed their trust in her, and today that trust is rewarded. And her first act of Congress will be a powerful one. She will be the 218th and final signature on the discharge petition to force the Trump administration to release the Epstein files, delivering long overdue justice and accountability for hundreds of victims abused by rich and powerful men. She is a smart, principled fighter through and through. Mr. Speaker, it is my honor to welcome and introduce to this chamber Congresswoman Adelita Grijalva.
Muchas gracias. Good job. Thank you. Muchas gracias. Gracias. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Muchas gracias. Thank you so much. Thank you to my colleague and friend, Congressman Stanton, for that kind introduction, and to the entire Democratic delegation from Arizona and the delegation that stood here with me that has supported me throughout this process. I rise today the proud granddaughter of a bracero, a hardworking Mexican immigrant who came to this country for a better life, and I stand as the proud daughter of a U.S. congressman, a man who spent his entire life fighting for justice, equity, and dignity for the most vulnerable. Yeah. From working as a vaquero to serving in Congress in just a single generation, that is the promise of this country. That is the America I want to raise my 3 beautiful children in, Adelita, Raul, and Joaquin. Stand up, baby. Look at them. They, along with my amazing husband Sol and my wonderful mama Ramona, are here with me today.
Yeah, those are beautiful names.
Muchas gracias por su apoyo y tu amor. And thank you to la gente of Southern Arizona for making history, electing me the first Latina, the first Chicana from Arizona to ever go to Congress. Este momento es histórico para nuestra comunidad. Es un honor ser la primera latina en representar a Arizona en el Congreso y les aseguro que aunque soy la primera, no será la última. And while we celebrate this moment today, our American promise is under serious threat. Basic freedoms are under attack. Healthcare premiums are skyrocketing. Babies are being ripped away from their parents by masked agents. We can and must do better. What is most concerning is not what this administration has done, but what the majority in this body has failed to do. Hold Trump accountable as a co-equal branch of government that we are. It has been 50 days since the people of Arizona's 7th Congressional District elected me to represent them. 50 days that over 800,000 Arizonans have been left without access to the basic services that every constituent deserves. This is an abuse of power. One individual should not be able to unilaterally obstruct the swearing in of a duly elected member of Congress for political reasons. Our democracy only works when everyone has a voice. This includes the millions of people across the country who have experienced violence and exploitation, including Liz Stein and Jessica Michaels, both survivors of Jeffrey Epstein's abuse. They are here in the gallery with us this evening.
That's what's up.
Thank you for being here. Just this morning, House Democrats released more emails showing that Trump knew more about Epstein's abuses than he previously acknowledged. It's past time for Congress to restore its role as a check and balance on this administration and fight for we, the American people. We need to fight for our immigrant communities and veterans. We need to stand up for our public schools, children, and educators. We need to respect tribal sovereignty in our environment.
We need to stand up for LGBTQ plus rights because that's what the American people expect us to do. Fight for them. That is why I will sign the discharge petition right now to release the Epstein files. Justice cannot wait another day. Adelante, mi gente. Muchas gracias. Thank you very much. I yield back.
Under Clause 5 of Rule 20, the chair announces to the House that in light of the administration of the oath of the gentleman from Arizona, the whole number of the House is now 433.
Yeah, Mike Johnson's not happy about that. He ain't happy about that. But okay. So that happened, guys. All right. That happened a little bit ago. I mean, like right before I went live, that happened, which I think is obviously really great news. But of course, yes, and I agree, Michelle Woods. Okay. It's about damn time. All right. That was long overdue. I think it's truly messed up that you have somebody like her, a representative that just wants to get sworn in so she could do her job, right? Suddenly not get the opportunity and the respect to be sworn in. Okay. I think it's just jacked up and wrong, especially when you have the powers that be that are trying to do everything they can to stop something like this from actually happening. Here's the thing. I know some people are going to sit here and go, oh, well, it was right before everything was going on with the shutdown and everything. And, they would have been just fine with the amount of representatives that were there. But then if that was the case, then why hold that back? Why hold that representative? Why would you stop Adelita from being able to serve and, take her position and serve her state, serve her country, etc.? It just doesn't make sense to me. That part, it just does not make any sense. And again, I hope that she does go further in trying to get her due justice, because again, it doesn't make any sense for them to do something like that to her, of all people, when she had they had ample time, plenty of opportunities to swear her in, but they couldn't hold out any longer. Mike Johnson could not wait out any longer. How many other excuses can they have? You see what I'm saying? How many other excuses can they do? They listed off a couple of them, which was all trash. All of it was trash. Just all BS excuses to try to not get her in there, right? It's so stupid and illegal. So I hope she does what she needs to do to get justice. Her own semblance of justice, okay? Because this is all bad. Right now, I'm going to be real. Right now, we as America look dumb. We are the hottest country in the world right now because of how on fire this country is right now. We're not on fire or being the hottest in the country because of us out here winning and all we're doing is scooping up bags left and right and we're just getting rich off of stuff. No, we are going through some really, really bad times. Things have gotten worse. Things have not gotten any better. I don't know where people keep saying things have gotten better. I've yet to see anything getting better so far. All right. We are in a shutdown still. The House is supposed to be doing their voting today. So as you saw that room, whole bunch of people were all together, okay? Whole bunch of representatives. The House is supposed to be coming in to vote. Okay. They're going to be voting whether or not to open up the government. Okay. Open up the country. Now, here's the thing. Her being added into this thing, is that going to, throw things off, or is it going to make things better? I don't know. But I do know that they are going to be having, or they're in the middle of doing their voting right now. And hopefully, shoot, I'm on the fence. I keep bouncing back and forth. There's moments where I'm like, well, people need the funding. People need to get back to work. People need to get paid for what they're doing, for the hours, endless hours that they work every single day, not having to do the midnight shift of DoorDash just so they can pay the electric bill. You see what I'm saying? But then there's another part of me that's like, I don't want to see health insurance go through the roof. We don't need to see that. Okay. But, like I said, I'm concerned just like anybody else. Let me see. Michelle Woods again. Thank you so much. Let me get these super chats here really quick. Just say what Cartman always says. I'm not a South Park. I'm not fat. I'm big bone. I guess, it ain't over until the big bone lady sings. Okay. Ride, you got 2 of these. So thank you so much. I hope you hope his ass is sweating. His ass is sweating. He is definitely perspiring out of every orifice of his body right now. Okay. He is very concerned. The fact that he's having an emergency or had an emergency meeting with his team, with the likes of Lauren Boebert, and is consistently speed dialing, okay, continually calling Nancy Mace, trying to get a hold of her. Yeah, he's terrified. He's worried because this is all looking bad. In fact, I forgot to show that to you guys. In fact, yes, he is losing his mind right now. Hold on really quick. He even put up a post just a little bit ago, and I need to find it again because I thought I had it, but and it's wild because you'd think that he would just be like prepared. Like he really thought that all these things would like stop him from getting in trouble. Like it just, like the people wouldn't be able to connect the dots. It just doesn't make sense to me. Hold on. Hold on. Here we go. So Donald Trump said in a post, let's take a look at this. Okay. He said it right here. The Democrats are trying to bring up the Jeffrey Epstein hoax again because they'll do anything at all to deflect on how badly they've done on the shutdown and so many other subjects. Only a very bad or stupid Republican would fall into that trap. The Democrats cost our country $1.5 trillion with their recent antics of viciously closing our country, while at the same time putting many at risk. And they should pay a fair price. There should be no deflections to Epstein or anything else, and any Republicans involved should be focused only on opening our country and fixing the massive damage caused by the Democrats. Yeah, that happened. Yeah. cost our country $1.5 trillion, yet he's going out to the public and saying, hey, I'm gonna write a $2,000 check to every single American out here, except you high-earning individuals. Middle class, lower class, y'all gonna get $2,000 from us. But apparently, the Democrats ran the country under $1.5 trillion. Ain't that something? Make that make sense. Make that make sense. He said another one too, which is weird. Same thing. He put this up. Same situation, but he said, in other words, the Democrats are using the Jeffrey Epstein hoax to try and deflect from their massive failures, in particular, their most recent one, the shutdown. This is all coming from Trump. He ain't tripping he ain't tripping much. He's doing just fine. He's not panicking. It's a hoax. All of it's one big fat ass hoax, right? It's all fugazi. It's all fake news. It's not a hoax. Those Epstein emails are true and real. Oh, they most definitely are. Right, again, thank you so much again. Her entire family has been beautiful names. Oh, I guess they have beautiful names. I'm sitting here with my generic white boy named Tyler. Hey, beautiful names. Yeah, she's got, all of them have very beautiful names for sure, which I think is awesome. Charlene, thank you so much for the love. Epstein / GMax have joked that their girls age out. It's when their girls age out, it's time to marry them off to their billionaire friends. Makes me wonder, is that what happened to Melania? And if she's in the files too? That is a damn good question. I'd like to know too. Now, Melania is adamant, has passionately, vehemently denied that they met through Epstein. She's like, we did not meet through Epstein. You got that whole story wrong. But I don't know. That's a very good question, Charlene. Now, I got questions. I got questions about what actually happened to Epstein, like we all do. Okay. Did he really do it? Or did something else happen? Was there an outside force that caused him to do it? Was it an outside force that actually used their hands and did it? I don't know. Okay. Was there a shot caller? Was there somebody who made the call and then had somebody go and do it? There's plenty of questions to ask, plenty of questions to bounce around in our little brains here. But this is crazy. This is crazy nonetheless. Okay, so I was pulling something else up because somebody sent this to me. I wanted to check this out. Let's see. See, this is crazy. And Epstein is okay. Where's this from? When did this come out? See, that's the thing. I don't know. Like some of these emails that keep popping up, I don't know how much they are real or how much they're not. The ones that we've gotten from like news sources like New York Times and all that, you know what I mean? There were like 3 emails that we saw. There were other ones now that we're seeing. And I'm like, I just don't know if it's real or not. And people can fabricate things very quickly, very easily. You know what I mean? So apparently, let's just see this. So saying here that apparently Trump did not cut ties with Epstein. So in a December 2017 email exchange with Epstein, like it was between Epstein and one of his victims, she writes, "I'm at the door, but I'll wait for my time. I don't want to come early to find Trump in your house." So the message was sent during Trump's first year in office. Long after he publicly claimed to have cut ties with Epstein for being a creep. The email raises questions about whether Epstein and Trump continued to maintain private contact despite their public fallout narrative. So I don't know if this is real. I will say that. I'm looking to see if anybody else is saying, you know. Yeah, fake news, totally fake, phony, witch hunt. Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, like these kinds, I wonder. Like, I'm wondering where they got this, whoever this account is. With all due respect, I'm just wondering if it's true or not. You know what I mean? Because people are coming out with fabricated stuff, right? People are coming out with all kinds of fabric. I'm sure people are coming out with all kinds of AI fabricated stuff. So it's like, I have to take that with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? It's frustrating, but it's important. It's very, very important. Whoa. Hold on one second. One second. Let's see. House voting government shutdown. Where's that? Okay, so they're voting. Just wanted to give you a quick update on that too. And also, I want you guys to see Caroline, Miss Caroline. I want you guys to see her press conference. I just don't know how she does it. I just don't know how you do it. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care if you're like supporting, like you look up to this particular person, you see them as an icon, you see them as like a mover and a shaker, whatever you might see. I don't care. But there's just something about her in this press conference that I just don't get it. But something's interesting going on here. Hold on. It's a noise, but here's the votes so far. So right now, I'm assuming this has to do solely with the shutdown. Okay? On whether or not they're going to open up the country, open up the government. So you have right now, if I'm reading this correct, you got in total 150 yay. And I'm not talking about Kanye, but 151 now saying yes to, I'm assuming, opening up the country. And then you have 161 right now saying nay. Hold on. Whoa. Shinobi, thank you so much. 2019 documents dropped. Donald Trump and Epi and Andy met in London. Where did you get that? Where the hell did you get that? Holy crap. 2019? Where did you get that, baby? Where did you get that? That would be insane if that's true. But if you see, I mean, it's neck and neck. So here's the thing. Excuse me. You got right now, if you see the NV basically means the ones that have not voted yet. Okay. And of course, that's slowly just ticking down because people are putting in their votes. I don't know. And if this vote, I think this is the vote, because again, sometimes they have like multiple voting, multiple votes going on, but obviously this is a very big deal on whether or not they're going to open up the government, right? Open up stop the shutdown, right? So it's crazy how close they are, right? How neck and neck they are right now. Now, here's the thing. You could have a representative come in and vote against it as well. Not a representative, I'm sorry, a Republican. You could have a Republican jump over on the Democrat side and say, no, keep it shut down. I'm not cool with this. And I could see somebody like the likes of Marjorie Taylor Greene doing something like that. But again, they would need, I think, about 7 votes for the nay to win. I think it has to be about 7 votes. Hold on. Because now you have Adelita, right? First off, Casper, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Massive thank you to the wonderful mods and the chat. Yes, to all y'all for being here. Really does mean a lot. You guys could be watching anywhere else, but you're watching right here, and that's really appreciated. Real talk. So, Casper, thank you so much for the love. I appreciate that. Seriously. Seriously. But hold on. I'm checking a few things here real quick. Let me just check a few things. All right, loves. One moment. Man, that'll be insane if they say no. See, I don't think Marjorie Taylor Greene is woke. I just think Marjorie Taylor Greene is not agreeing with the things that they're seeing, that she's seeing right now. I don't think it's woke. She's still crazy. She's still the same Marjorie Taylor Greene. I just think she doesn't like what happened with Trump and the Epstein files. And I think that put a very bad taste in her mouth. It's the same thing as those who were hardcore MAGA that aren't MAGA anymore. Like the likes of Candace Owens. Yes, I said it. Candace Owens is not MAGA anymore. She used to be, but she ain't that no more. I don't even think Tucker Carlson is MAGA anymore. I really don't think he is either. So again, shoot, Marjorie Taylor Greene she's off the deep end. She gone. She gone. But there are certain things that she does not like. But I also think that she has interests in running in 2028. So I think she's trying to find ways to, she's seeing what the people are saying, what the masses are saying. And the masses the majority of people are not happy with how Trump has been operating things and not happy with MAGA. Yes, there still are a lot of MAGA supporters out there, but there are still a lot of people that are starting to step away from it because they're seeing how things are and they don't like it. People don't like, for example, the fact that they're going, oh, it's the Democrats. It's all the Democrats. They just want to give healthcare to illegal immigrants. And it's like, no, that's not even true. That's not even accurate. But they're funneling that BS and those lies into the brains of everybody else that just takes that information as fact when it's not fact. That's the problem. And those premiums, man, come on now. Those premiums are going to be bad, y'all. They're going to be super expensive. So the rich will continue getting rich and the poor will stay poor or get even more poor. Even a Republican can look at that and say, that's not right. Even the likes of Marjorie Taylor Greene or Lauren Boebert or any of these other people that were hardcore MAGA can look at that stuff and go, I don't like that so much. Then also at the same time, when you're sitting there saying, drain the swamp, completely obliterate the swamp, that's what we're going to do. And then you don't do that. And all you do is give us left turns every 5 seconds and excuses and trying to find ways to block things. Any intelligent individual is going to look at that and start asking questions. Doesn't matter if you are blue or hardcore red. You're going to look at that and go, something's not right there. That's not right. Wow. So we're going to be watching, we're going to be seeing in real time if this is the vote. I think this is the vote. We got 11 votes left. And I mean, obviously, I think it's going to be the government's going to be back open again. I mean, it literally would have to be those two Democrats and then like 5 of the Republicans, basically. But I think it's going to be it's going to end up being a yay. All of them are like, damn, I was really enjoying just doing nothing. I was planning on taking a trip to Europe, that kind of thing, during this shutdown. Let's see. Hold on. Yep. It's going to be yay.
This vote, the yeas are 216, the nays are 213. The previous question is ordered. Question is on the adoption of the resolution. Those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. Opinion of the chair, the ayes have it.
Mr. Speaker, I ask for recorded vote.
Recorded vote is requested. Those favoring a recorded vote will rise. Sufficient number having risen, a recorded vote is ordered. Members will record their votes by electronic device. This is a 5-minute vote.
That's crazy. They still got to, that's crazy. Yeah, this is crazy. I'm wondering what's going on here. So I'm reading this off camera, but it says House now taking key procedural vote to start debate on government funding deal. So hold on. House is now taking a procedural vote to start debate on the Senate passed government funding deal. If the chamber clears this hurdle, a vote on passage is expected later tonight. The latest guidance from Majority Whip Tom Emmer, his office, is a vote on passage will take place around 7:45 to 8:15 p.m. So I guess these are a bunch of different things that they're looking into. Though this could be pushed back if leaders go long during floor debate remarks. So I guess they're going to be, it's not as simple as I thought it was going to be. There's still a whole lot of hoops they got to go through. Hold on one second, guys. Yeah, that's insane. I mean, real talk, that is a concern of mine, right? The people that have not been getting paid, they've been working nonstop, those kind of things, kinds of things are a problem. For sure. It's a problem and it needs to be figured out as soon as possible, you know? Thank you, Dee Dee. Appreciate you. It's about a minute left. Let me see here.
This vote, the yeas are 213, the nays are 209. The resolution is adopted. Without objection, a motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
This is interesting. 9 reports of air traffic control staffing shortages as airlines prepare to cut more flights. So there have been 9 reports of staffing shortages at the air traffic control facilities today. This is what the FAA just said about 9 minutes ago as the House prepares to vote on reopening the government.
The House will come to order.
Let's see what they're going to say.
For what purpose does the gentlelady from Washington seek recognition? The House will be in order. For what purpose does the gentlelady from Washington seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, pursuant to Clause 2A1 of Rule 9, I seek recognition to give notice of my intent to raise a question of the privileges of the House. The form of the resolution is as follows. Whereas on October 27, 2025, Representative Chuy Garcia filed nominating petitions to be on the Democratic primary ballot in March 2026, whereas on November 5th, 2025, on the last day of filing, Representative Garcia's Chief of Staff, Patty Garcia, submitted her own paperwork to enter the Democratic primary, whereas on November 6th, after the filing deadline, Representative Garcia confirmed that he would not be seeking another term in 2026 and would be withdrawing his nominating petitions, whereas Representative Garcia's Chief of Staff was the only Democrat who filed to run in the primary at the direction of Representative Garcia, undermining the process of a free and fair election, whereas Representative Garcia's actions are beneath the dignity of his office and incompatible with the spirit of the Constitution. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the House of Representatives disapproves of the behavior of the representative from Illinois, Mr. Garcia.
Under Rule 9, a resolution offered from the floor by a member other than the majority leader or the minority leader as a question of the privileges of the House has immediate precedence only at a time designated by the chair within 2 legislative days after the resolution is properly noticed. Pending that designation, the form of the resolution noticed by the gentlelady from Washington will appear in the record at this point. The chair will not at this point determine whether the resolution constitutes a question of privilege. That determination will be made at a time designated for consideration of the resolution.
Okay. Well,
The House will
guys,
be in order. Members are instructed to clear the well.
go back to your seats.
The House will be in order and members will clear the well. For what purpose does the gentleman from Illinois seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, pursuant to House Resolution, I'm sorry? Who did?
Will the gentleman repeat his request at a microphone? Will the gentleman find a microphone and repeat his request?
Mr. Speaker, I would like to ask unanimous consent to address the body, the world.
Not recognized for that purpose.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to thank
Recognized.
the Honorable, hello?
Yep.
The House will be in order. The well will be cleared. All members will clear the well. For what purpose does the gentleman from Oklahoma seek recognition?
Up the bill H.R. 5371, the Continuing Appropriations, Agriculture, Legislative Branch, Military Construction, and Veterans Affairs and Extension Act of 2026, with the Senate amendment thereto, and I have a motion at the desk.
The clerk will report the title of the bill, designate the Senate amendment, and designate the motion.
H.R. 5371, an act making continuing appropriations and extensions for fiscal year 2026 and for other purposes. Senate amendment. Mr. Cole of Oklahoma moves that the House concur in the Senate amendment to H.R. 5371.
Pursuant to House Resolution 873, the motion shall be debatable for 1 hour, equally divided and controlled by the chair and ranking minority member of the Committee on Appropriations or their respective designees. The gentleman from Oklahoma, Mr. Cole, and the gentlelady from Connecticut, Ms. DeLauro, each will control 30 minutes. The chair now recognizes the gentleman from Oklahoma. The House will be in order. The gentleman is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent that all members have 5 legislative days to revise and extend their remarks and include extraneous material on the measure under consideration.
Without objection, so ordered. The House will be in order. All members are instructed to take their conversations
I'm going to tell you
outside.
this, guys. Apparently, the voting, I guess, doesn't start until I think it's 7:30 or it's like 7:30 Eastern Standard Time is when they're supposed to be voting, I guess, for whether or not the government's going to be open, if I'm correct. Now, if that is the case, we got a little bit of time to kill. Okay. So of course, I'm going to hop off. Okay. But I am keeping an eye on this whole thing. Okay. I don't know what this is. I honestly don't know what this is. And with all due respect, I just don't know what they're talking about. We just hopped in the middle of this. I don't know what this is all about. Okay. But they're supposed to be making some sort of, they're supposed to be making the decision later on today or later on tonight. Okay. So I'm telling you right now, I'm keeping an eye on this. I'm gonna find out. When I find out more information, we will hop on. I feel like I'm watching PB, like when you turn on the TV, at least back in the day when you turned on like local TV, they would have this playing randomly and you're like, what is this? I don't even know what's going on. I have no idea what they're talking about. That's kind of what it feels like right now. You know what I mean? I just don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, it's like C-SPAN. Yeah, it's like C-SPAN. It's like you're watching it and you're like, what is actually going on? Right? So I am interested. I am curious, but this is a realm that I don't know what they're talking about. You see what I'm saying? Hold on. Let's hear what he got to say. Do we understand what he's talking about?
End to the needless hardship Democrats have inflicted on the country. This bill supports our troops. It pays federal workers. It fully funds SNAP benefits until September 30th of next year.
Okay, this starts to make sense.
It compensates our air traffic controllers right before a
Okay,
busy
hold on.
holiday season.
Hold tight. We're not leaving yet.
It takes a holistic approach in ensuring federal services and programs are operational. In the simplest terms, we're putting the government back to work for our people. The bill is fundamentally the same responsible approach House Republicans offered on September 19th, but with an important addition: 3 full-year appropriations bills for FY26. These bipartisan, bicameral full-year appropriations bills cover the Military, Construction, and Veterans Affairs, Legislative Branch, and Agriculture, Rural Development, and Food and Drug Administration divisions. Once passed, we will have full-year funding in place for many of our most crucial programs.
So what they're doing right now, they're debating, they're having their conversation, and then they're going to go into the voting time to see if they're going to open up the government or not. Okay. That's also very interesting. Hold on. I got a couple things here, guys, that we're not done yet. Okay. We're far from done yet. Hold on. There's one more thing. And thank you to whoever just sent this to me. But this is according to the New York Times. So we're going to take a look at this here too. Okay. Now, these are just recent updates. Very interesting screenshots. Like one right here is from Jeffrey Epstein to the Sultan bin Sulayem. Okay. Says never heard of him. Never heard of him. Donald is close to no one. He talks to many people. He tells each one something different. Then Sultan says, do you know him? I've heard. Okay, so I guess this is, I hate how they show like the first one, like they'll show the latest one first, and the you know what I mean? Does that make sense? So I hate that. But anyway, so the Sultan said, do you know him? I heard he is close to Trump. And then he's responding saying, I never heard of him. Jeffrey Epstein saying that. Never heard of him. Did he? Donald is close to no one. He talks to many people. He tells each one something completely different. So again, I think that's very interesting, right? We're hearing a lot about that too. Now, we already know about him being the dog that doesn't bark or that hasn't barked, right? There's an opportunity to come forward. This is Michael Wolff saying this to Jeffrey Epstein. There's an opportunity to come forward this week and talk about Trump in such a way that could garner you great sympathy and help finish him. Interested. That's interesting as well, right? There's another email that I didn't get a chance to show you that's from Michael Wolff as well. Yeah, Michael Wolff wanted him to go down. Take a look at this. I have not shown you guys this one yet, but this is insane as well. Look at this. Michael Wolff, okay, sent this to Jeffrey Epstein. He said, I think you should let him hang himself. If he says he hasn't been on the plane or to the house, then that gives you a valuable PR and potential currency. You can hang him in a way that potentially generates a positive benefit for you. Or if it really looks like he could win, you could save him, generating a debt. Let's pause right there for a second. What do you think that's all about? Clearly, it's like, hey, we can find ways. If he finds himself painting himself into a corner, you can swing in, like, you know, saving him, right? Saving him when he's in real bad shape, and you can use that as leverage. So then he'll owe you one. He'll owe you a big one. Interesting, right? This is Michael Wolff. saying this to Jeffrey Epstein. So you can hang him in a way that potentially generates a positive benefit for you. Or if it really looks like he could win, you could save him, generating a debt. Of course, it is possible that when asked, he'll say Jeffrey is a great guy and has gotten a raw deal and is a victim of political correctness, which is to be outlawed in a Trump regime. Crazy. This is Michael Wolff, somebody who is literally saying that he has all kinds of bad things stacked up against Trump right now as we speak. So much that he is getting sued a crap ton of money by Melania because he apparently says that they met through Epstein. And the first time they ever had their actual encounter, the first time they ever did funky dope loving was on the Lolita Express. That's the first time they ever consummated their relationship between Trump and Melania. In other words, they clapped cheeks, allegedly, on Epstein's plane. So now Melania is suing him for like $1 billion or something crazy like that, if I remember correctly. Michael Wolff, because Michael Wolff's been in these interviews basically saying, I know everything. I know where all the bodies are buried. Okay, Donnie? That's what he's basically saying. But look at what he's saying to Jeffrey Epstein, of all things. He's kind of dirty too. Everybody's like, protect Wolff at all costs. Yeah, because he knows things. But at the same time, what do you think he was saying to, look at what he's saying to, he's dirty too, man. Michael Wolff, dirty too. I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to say it. He's dirty too, man. He's dirty. But, you know, he has this information. He let him get himself in trouble. Let him paint himself into this corner. When he paints himself in this corner, you can get out there and you can save him. All you got to say is one thing or do whatever, bop, bop, bop. But then by you saving him by the skin of his teeth, man, that's when he owes you one. And then maybe he can pardon you while he's in office, right? And that this, it'll be an anti-woke movement and anti-fake news and all that stuff. Watch. During the Trump regime, he'll be able to move mountains for you because he will have power. Now, obviously, all this continues, it looks like, or this is from the night before. So let me read the first two first, and I'm going to reread what he wrote as the last thing, which is that big paragraph at the top. So Michael Wolff emailed Jeffrey Epstein, basically said, I hear CNN planning to ask Trump tonight about his relationship with you, either on air or in scrum afterwards. Okay. So then Jeffrey Epstein writes, if we were able to craft an answer for him, what do you think it should be? So then that's when Michael Wolff says, I think you should let him hang himself. If he says he hasn't been on the plane or to the house, then that gives you a valuable PR and political currency. You can hang him in a way that potentially generates a positive benefit for you. If it looks like he could actually win, you could save him, generating a debt. Of course, it is possible that when asked, he'll say that Jeffrey's a great guy and has gotten a raw deal and is a victim of political correctness, which is to be outlawed in a Trump regime. So that's the whole dialogue that they were having in these emails right there. I'm telling you, Wolff is just as dirty, but he's the one who's willing to play clean right now because he has all the dirt. Okay. He has the tea, for those of y'all who know, who's speaking that way. He has the tea. So this is why we should be looking at, and yes, we need to protect this guy at all costs too, of course, because he knows where the bodies are buried, for sure. All right. But he's not that great either. He's not a great guy. Okay. Just being real. It's kind of like that movie Goodfellas. Okay? It's like that movie Goodfellas, where you're following the main character throughout the entire movie, but he's doing all kinds of bad stuff too. You know what I mean? He's cheating, he's robbing, he's murking people, he's doing all kinds of stuff. But then at the end of the movie, he has all the dirt on the people part of the mafia, and then he takes them all down, right? And then now he's on witness protection, and we don't know where that guy is right now. But he was doing dirty just as bad. It's the same thing as Wolf. Michael Wolf, he's dirty, but he's the one with the information. And now he's willing to squawk. Now he's willing to expose all that ish, right? So now we're seeing it. That's crazy. So at the end of the day, I've never thought that Michael Wolf was lying with his information and the stuff that he knows about the photograph with, women in their birthday suits around Trump, pointing at a mess on his pants, in the front of his pants, if you get what I'm saying. And they're laughing in a photo and stuff like that. I believe that stuff to be true. I don't think he's making those things up. Just because he's crooked too doesn't mean that he doesn't have information, which is, information that leads us closer to the truth, right? Yeah, they say that stuff is in a safe. So here's the thing. That's the problem. Pam Bondi said, I saw nothing. That's what she said. I saw nothing. I didn't see a list. I didn't see a black book. I didn't see anything. There's nothing incriminating. Epstein is just a very bad guy. And that's it. Those victims, in other words, I guess they're not victims at all. Right? She said, I don't see anything. But here's the thing. How can you not see those photos? How can you not see that information when it's all in the files? I'm surprised none of this stuff has been destroyed yet. I figured that they would wait one late night and just start burning that stuff. Find some place way out and just burn all the stuff. I figured that would have already been done, but it hasn't happened. We're now seeing bits and pieces. And I'm telling you right now, when that stuff does come out, oh my God, it's going to be the longest. It's going to be like the longest couple days combing through all that information. Just remember that. It's going to be all stuff that they're going to expose all this stuff. Here's the other thing too. It may take some time. We may not see it until after Thanksgiving. Shoot, we may not even see it until the holidays, until Christmas time, when these Epstein files actually get exposed. But we don't know. We'll see, right? But it takes 7 business days for them to solidify certain things. So we'll see what happens here, guys. All right. We will definitely see what happens. Yeah, it's going to be a long month, y'all. It's going to be a long ass month. It's going to be some wild times. But again, I'm keeping an eye on this. Don't worry. If we got some updates about this voting situation, we will be talking about it here very soon. So that is the show. Okay, guys? I appreciate all y'all for being here. It really means a lot. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget, pinned at the top of the chat is that GoFundMe link. Okay, I saw some of you guys donate. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so very much. We are almost in the 90s. We're almost 90% away, which is really dope. So if you can contribute, that'd be great. The GoFundMe link is pinned at the top of the chat. It's in the description box down below. Don't forget to hit that like button down below. Crush it, do what it do. Hit that reaction button. And if you are watching on those other platforms, make sure you hit that follow button. All right? Subscribe here on my YouTube channel. Go check out Pascal, the Pascal Show clips and Pascal Raw. Make sure you're subscribed over there. Hit that notification bell. Set it to all so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload. Hit that join button down below. Become a member if you can. Check out my Patreon. And, of course, check out PascalMerch.com. Anyways, it's time to get going, guys. I'll be seeing you guys in just a little bit, okay? When we get this update, if we're going to be open or closed, we'll be back on to talk about that here shortly, okay? Anyways, time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.